This is the introduction to the LifeGate Church at Mirror Lake audio podcast. This is our creation video cast. We're going to go through and show you how to create the podcast using a few different pieces of software. First, I'd like to say thank you for taking the time to want to contribute to this. It is a ministry in itself in that you're able to reach thousands and potentially millions of people around the world with your time and your talents and your energy in doing this. There's a few things that you need to know up front. I will be doing this, as you can see, on a Mac computer. So there may be some differences that you'll find. I use both a PC and a Mac, and I can tell you that the differences are slight, and I'll go through those as we reach those at each point in the training. This is your initial training. This is a good overview. It is not a full comprehensive training for every single aspect, and I'll be happy to get with individuals on those portions, and we'll be creating additional videos for those at a later date and time. A few things that you are going to need. You will need Apple iTunes software. You will need Audacity, Levelator, an FTP client such as FileZilla or CyberDuck. And you'll need the login credentials for the church's website so that you can actually post the video, or excuse me, not the video, but the audio to the church website. All of this will be in your handbook. You should have received a copy by email. It's in PDF format, so it has all of these links. So you'll be able to quickly click on those links and download the software to your PC or to your Mac so that you'll be ready to go. And with that, we'll get started. Okay, so we are starting part one. We're going to copy the service to our computer. Obviously, the first thing we need to do is load the compact disc into the computer so that we can copy the actual audio over for manipulation. This will be slightly different on Mac versus PC, but as you input the compact disc, as you can see here, iTunes wants to open and import it. We're going to say no at this time and just minimize iTunes. Instead, for the Mac, we are simply going to drag and drop the audio file to our desktop. This is going to copy the audio file over, and it's as easy as that. Now on a PC, again, this will be slightly different, as you will need to use something like Windows Media Player and rip the audio using AIFF or WAVE as your lossless format so that we can then go to part two and levelize the audio. Moving on to part two, we're leveling out the audio. As you can see here, my audio file is now on my desktop. So I'm now going to open Levelator, which is just a small program that basically will take the lows and highs of the audio and level them out, making for a more enjoyable listening experience to the end user if they're listening in their car or on their MP3 player or whatever the case may be, so that the volume is normalized throughout. Alright, so all we do is literally drag the audio file into the Levelator and let it do its thing. And then once it completes the analysis of the track itself, it will go through and do its thing, and it will output back to the desktop, and it will give you a file that says, in this case, one audio track.output.aiff. And it usually takes on a Mac approximately 2 to 4 minutes, and on a PC can take anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, depending upon the length of the track and how many different vocals that you may have mixed in to that particular track. Alright, so we'll let this do its thing, and we'll be right back.